We are going to learn right now diacritical marks. So what is the role of diacritical marks in Arabic language or in pronunciation in the whole thing? So it's very important to understand them and to understand their role. As I said before, there are vowels. Vowels, they're divided into six vowels basically, 3 short vowels and 3 long vowels. So, and all of them, they are based on the 3 sounds, a, o, and e. Now we're going to take this concept and we're going to add it and put under the ceiling of diacritical marks. Okay, so we have short vowels, and then under the ceiling of diacritical marks we have also emphasis and de-emphasis marks. So these two together, what they do to the letter, either they bring life, means that they change the sound of the letter to a, o, or e, or they take out the sound out of the letter, so you don't pronounce it, it's silent, we'll see it later, or you stress on the sound of the letter. So they have to do something to the sound of the letter. This is the role of diacritical marks. So now I'm going to write them all together and start like step by step explaining how they sound with the letter and what is their role and what's the concept, what they mean. Short vowels, حركات قصيرة. I will explain more. Emphasis and de-emphasis marks هي حركات. Actually, I call them حركات. They are not actually حركات because حركات means movements, but I will just call them حركات التشديد والتسكين. Emphasis and de-emphasis. And we have here 3 vowels, and here we have 2. Let's start with the short vowels, okay? I'm going to erase now, after I wrote and you can see it. I'm going to erase and start with the short vowels. حركات قصيرة. We have 3 short vowels based on the sound a, o, and e. What they called and how we pronounce them. So the first one, it's called فتحة in chat Arabic. فتحة. I'm writing these marks, these are the diacritical marks. You will start to understand it soon. And the sound is a, and you write فتحة on the top of a letter. This is, we're going to consider this is the letter, and it's an oblique line on the top of the letter. Okay, now what is the meaning of فتحة? فتحة, this vowel, it was given this name based on the shape of the mouth. The way we pronounce the letter, it has a common shape, which is to open. So whenever you're pronouncing any letter or any consonant, you have to open your mouth to pronounce this vowel. So let's take some of the letters we learned previously. Letter ba or b. With fatha, it becomes ba. Ba. Ta becomes ta. Ta. Tha. 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 Noon. Na. Na. Ya. 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 So as you see, my mouth, I'm opening it. Okay? Fatha is like to open, our open vowel. The second one is dammi or damma in classical Arabic. Dammi, and it's O. This is the letter, and it looks like a little comma on the top of the letter. A little comma on the top of the letter. And I will give you more examples to read. So what is the meaning of damme? Damme, it's coming from the meaning like to embrace or to circle something, like a muscle. You're circling it. So if I'm talking about my mouth, then what happens to the sound of the consonant when I'm pronouncing damme? So ba, bo, bo. My mouth is more of a circle shape. That's how o, bo, to, so, no, yo, wo. That's the meaning of damme. And then the last one is kasra. Kasra is based on the sound I. It's below the letter as an oblique line, below. So above is fatha, on the top as a comma is damme, and below is kasra. So kasra, it's coming from like to break the shape of the mouth, down, break it down. So I. Try to say I, you will understand it. So from a, o, I, b, t, th, ne, ye, we. So these are the 3 short vowels. Now you could understand the meaning, so you can link it to the shape of the mouth to remember the name and the sound as well. And now we are going to practice a little bit. Now we are going to practice pronouncing the vowels with the letters that we have learned. So the first family we learned is ba, ta, tha, nun, and ya. So if we say ba with fatha, it's ba, ba. Ba with damme is bo, bo. Not boo, it's bo. Ba with kasra is bi, bi. Ta with fatha is ta, ta. Ta with damme is tu, tu. Ta with kasra is ti, ti. Tha with fatha is tha, tha. Tha with damme is thu, thu. Tha with kasra is thi, thi. Noon with fatha is na, na. Noon with damme is nu, nu. Noon with kasra is ni, ni. Ya with fatha is ya, ya. Ya with damme is yu, yu. And ya with kasra is yi, yi. As you see, and as you are hearing actually, short vowels, they give short extension. They give sound to the letter itself, and they give, you will hear some words now when I give you like the rest of the diacritical marks. They give shorter extension between one letter and another. Okay, remember this. There's shorter extension between one letter and another, and they give sound to the letter itself. Each letter in a word, no matter how many letters there are, it has to take one diacritical marks. Okay, unless it's a vowel or a long vowel. The last letter not included in this family is the waw. The last one is waw, wa, wo, we, wa, wo, we. So fatha, damme, kasra. Ba, bu, bi, ta, tu, ti, tha, thu, thi, na, nu, ni, ya, yu, yi, wa, wo, we. Now we are going to cover and to explain emphasis and de-emphasis marks. So we'll start with de-emphasis marks. The action is taskin, de-emphasizing the sound of the letter. Now, what is it? It's called sukoon. You write it above the letter, small circle. Sukoon. Sukoon. The meaning and the role of sukoon. First, the meaning. Sukoon is like silence or silent sound, silent mode, no sound at all. The role is to stop from pronouncing the letter. And that means that you don't say ba or bu or bi. You just say b, b. Nothing to pronounce with it, no other vowel. So to stop and to not give any sound to the letter, to prevent it from taking any sound. So this is sukoon. It's a silent mode, silent sound of the letter. Sukoon. So if you say ba, then it becomes b. Basically just like b. T. Th. And noon. N. Ya. He. Wow is who. So t, th, n, w, y. Okay, no sound. It is depriving the letter from taking a sound. It's a stop, silent. Okay, so remember those meanings. The second one is the emphasis marks. Should have left that. Emphasis marks. Emphasis by itself means tashdid or emphasizing the sound of the letter. And the mark itself, so emphasis mark, and the mark itself, it's called shaddi. Shaddi. Let's look, or let's see how it looks like. Shaddi, it looks like flipped 3. It should be on the top of a letter. Before I explain further about shaddi, like how it should be written, let's understand the meaning. Shaddi is from emphasizing, from stressing on the sound of the letter. So it's like you are saying double B and double T and double S or double N. So B, T and S. So I will give you examples. However, before we start reading those examples, you need to know that what is this combination? What is shaddi? And how it it's developed, how it became shaddi. So shaddi, it is basically, you have it when you have two letters, two similar letters, like two T's, okay? Two similar letters, the first one should be taking sukoon. Sukoon is the emphasis mark. And the second one, it could be fatha, or it could be damme, or it could be kasra. In this situation, when you have two letters similar to each other, following each other, the first one is in silent or stop mode, and the second one is voweled, then you cannot actually hear the first one. You cannot hear it and you cannot pronounce it, in fact. So what happens, the Arabic language created this mark is by first explaining that there is an emphasis in that and there are two letters as well. So how it becomes, when you have, let's suppose sukoon, two letters similar to each other. The first one is sukoon and the second one is fatha, let's suppose. Then where is the shadd in there? You put the letter and you put on the top the three that I told you about with the fatha on the top. The shaddi carries the vowel, the second vowel, okay? And this shaddi means you're stressing on the sound of the vowel, of the letter. You should stress it with the sound along with the sound of the vowel. So this is shadda with fatha. If you have two letters, the first one is sukoon and the second one is dammi. Now you're saying it's too much like confusing. This is an explanation to the shadda, but you actually don't have to go through this process. You don't need to like think, oh, now I have to like combine these two letters together. No, just in case you see shadda, you understand that this shadda is combination of two similar letters. The first one is silent or sukoon, stop mode, and the second one is vowel. Okay, this is for you to understand later when you read, and also for grammatical reasons you will understand later. So sukoon with dammi followed by dammi then becomes over the letter with shadda and the dammi on the top. And the last one, if you have the first two similar letters, the first one is sukoon and the second one is kasra, then you put the letter and you put the shadda. Now there are two theories or two ways to write it. Either you put the kasra below the letter, below the shadda. I'm gonna write it bigger, as you see in here. Other people, or some people, they would like to do this. They put the shadda and they put the kasra below. Both are correct, but this is less confusing when you combine the shadda with the kasra together. Okay, so now we have three forms of shadda: shadda with fatha, shadda with dammi, and shadda with kasra. Okay, so far diacritical marks we have fatha, dammi, kasra, and we have emphasis and de-emphasis marks. The de-emphasis mark is sukoon when there is lack of a sound, when you cannot pronounce the letter, and the second one, emphasis, is when you stress on the sound of the letter. Now I want to give a little approach before I give you examples to read about how to understand it better, the shadda. Let's suppose we are taking the word potter, okay? And then this is one. I'm not cutting into syllable, I'm just showing you the shadda concept. So this T in here, it's not pronounced, it's t. It's combined with, actually this is one syllable, but it's basically, it's eaten, like the sound is eaten here because it doesn't have any sound. In Arabic, this should be taken sukoon, okay? And then the second T, it has kasra, the E. Now in this situation, when you say potter, you actually pronounce one T and you stress a little bit on the sound. In Arabic, we would prevent to write such thing, like writing two letters, the first one is silent and the second in vowel mode. So what we do is we write one letter, as you see like that, and on the top we put the shadda with the kasra. Okay, potter. This is potter. This is like between Arabic and English, if you want to understand it better. Okay, so this is shadda. Let's now move into reading some words. So we are going to mix and match some all the letters that we have learned so far in order to read a little bit. I need just to say one point before I start reading aloud these words. I am not teaching now a language. I'm teaching you how to learn. I'm teaching how to write and read and learning the alphabets. Okay, so these are. I'm speaking in English so you can understand me. I'm not teaching you the spoken language or language to speak. This is the first stages, the first early stages of learning a language. And the second thing is, doesn't matter what these words mean because I only want you to focus on how to pronounce them, how you can hear them, and to match now what I have said in your brain, like mash them together to find the logic, okay? So we have the first word in here. You can start reading. You have two ways of reading. Either you can read aloud. You start reading each letter by itself. Tha with fatha, tha, and then ba with shaddi fatha, ba, and then ta. Or you can read it in your mind, okay, and then you say it out loud, okay? Thabbata. The first one is tha, and then the second one is ba, and then the last one is ta. Thabbata. Thabbata. The second one, it's ya with a dammi, it's you. The second one is tha with fatha, is tha, you, tha. The third one is ba, letter ba, with shaddi and kasra below it, so it should be bi. So you, tha, bi. And then the last one, ta with dammi, tu. Yuthabbitu. 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 I'm gonna yuthabbitu. I'm gonna start like avoiding writing in chat, so you can just focus now on Arabic. And the third one is tha with fatha, tha, and waw with sukoon is u, no sound, thaw, thaw, and then the last one is b, thawb, thawb, okay? When you don't see a vowel or the critical mark at the end of words, that mainly it's sukoon, okay? So thawb, like two sukoons, but that's grammatically, when a word is located in any sentence, it has a grammatical role in the sentence. So now we're not going through this because we're not learning grammar, we're learning how to read, okay? So thawb. The fourth one, wa, and then the second with shaddi is wathabat. 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 Now we have the fifth. The first one is ta with kasra, t. The second one is ba with kasra, bi. And then the last one is nun with sukoon, tibin. Tibin. And here we have nun with fatha and waw with sukoon. Nun with fatha is na, waw with sukoon is w, now. 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 And the last one is waw with fatha, wa, nun with sukoon, n, waw with kasra, wi, and the last one is n. Wan-win. Wan-win. So these are the critical marks. I hope it was clear, and they are simple and they're very fun to learn because they are really gonna help you to be able to read, and they're gonna bring life to the learning process of the alphabet, okay? So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video.